It is exactly 4:25 Central African time as we turn our attention to power energy provision. We're looking at the Mauritius Commercial Bank, the MCB. They've led the facility for Karpowership, which is the world's biggest provider of floating power plants. A Turkish company which powers countries including Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Mozambique, as well as Senegal, has now secured a new $400 million loan. The new loan is said to represent an expansion of Mauritius Commercial Bank's bid to win business across Africa, and as it taps into surging demand for energy on the continent. For more on this, we joined on the line by Naginlal Modi, Executive Vice President for Power and Infrastructure Financing at Mauritius Commercial Bank. Good to have you with us. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. Nice to have.
Wait.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you. Could you tell us more about this transaction as well as the role that was played by the Mauritius Commercial Bank in securing the loan?
Sure. That was a $400 million syndicated facility for Karpower's affiliate, which is a SeaWorld Energy Holding. It's the role of MCB. MCB acted as a sole mandated lead arranger on that transaction. So we had the borrower in structuring the transactions and coming up with the terms and conditions for that facility. And then we did a syndication where we approached lenders in the market. The syndication was very well received by the market. We had given the level of interest received from different lenders. So the facility was closed with 3 different lenders, and with MCB included, that's a pool of 4 lenders. What's unique about the transaction is, given the size, it's actually the first major loan transactions for the borrower, SeaWorld Energy Holding. It's a newly created entity for the Karpower's group, and it's the entity is going to be responsible for their African operations. And the financing was tied up to a pool of power purchase agreements with different West African national off-takers in countries like Senegal and Côte d'Ivoire. And the facility, the proceeds of the facility is to help SeaWorld Energy towards, their financing their African operations as well as their capital expenditure for new power ships.
You mentioned that this is a syndicated loan, that there are 3-4 other lenders. And who are those?
Yeah, the other lenders are Afrasia from Mauritius, EcoBank, and Federated Hermes.
And how does this deal specifically position the Mauritius Commercial Bank standing in Africa's energy and infrastructure sectors?
No, definitely. The power and infrastructure desk at MCB was only started 4 or 5 years ago. So over the years, we have recorded steady growth in our loan portfolio. We've started to support blue chip clients, which are operating either on a regional or international players. And we've been assisting them on all their financing needs. And these transactions, given the strong level of interest that we received from the market in general, not just restricted to those 3 lenders, but we also had other lenders who were very keen to participate. The level of interest that we got on these transactions and the fact that we were able to explain the credit story, the business of Karpower, is a testimony to the capabilities of MCBs to structure innovative and highly bespoke financing solutions for our clients. One thing that I've noted, given my time doing power and infrastructure financing in Africa over the past 5 years, there's no cookie cutter financing solutions. Mm-hmm. Each borrower, each company has its own intricacies. And it's really important as a borrower to have a very good understanding of a client's business model, understanding the terrain of the countries, the places where they operate, and be able to offer financing that's adaptable for their business model and all the challenges that you face.
And that's a really valid point that you make, that there is no cookie cutter
Mhm.
formula, that you really have to look at each case scenario specifically. But looking at this one
Mhm.
here, how will this
Mhm.
funding directly contribute to the local economy's development and electrical goals of African nations where you operate specifically?
Sure. I mean, if you look at that, if you look at the borrower in that particular situation, in that particular transactions, I mean, the business model of Core Power is to provide emergency power relief to countries that are facing power shortages. And you may be aware that in Africa, you have 600 million people without electricity. And one of the reasons for loss of productivity is in many countries, there's no steady supply of power 24 hours a day. So many businesses have to shut down, have to switch to diesel, or simply have to stop productions while waiting for power to come back online. So the business of car power here is to really alleviate power shortages, power issues that are facing different African nations. And by providing immediate relief to those countries, it helps the countries to remain electrified, as well as helping the business communities and local industries to continue operating without disruptions or to minimize the impact of disruptions.
Right. Well, thank you so much for that roundup, Mr. Naginlal Modi, Executive Vice President for Power and Infrastructure Financing at Mauritius Commercial Bank, following the $400 million loan to Karpowership, that done in association with three other lenders. We thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.